as someone who has been in the trenches of this for so long, talk to the folks about what defunding the police means to you.
Yeah. So, so from a journalistic standpoint, and then I'm going to get to a personal standpoint. You said what it means to me. Journalistically, when I hear about defunding, I hear taking money away. And the next question is, how much money is being taken away? Is it going to be a total defunding or what? So what I understand, as Bevy said, it is lessening the pot for policing and putting it into the community. But my concern is, if there is an emergent issue, if there's a situation, those hidden variables that we don't necessarily see that may happen, God forbid there's another unrest. God forbid there is some kind of disaster that first responders have to be out there, meaning police. And if we don't have the funding, what happens? So that is my journalistic standpoint. When it comes to defunding, from the personal standpoint, from my vantage point, I believe that police officers need to go back to the community. They need to go back to community policing, where they're out of the cars and on the street, in the communities, knowing who's who.
And no longer wearing all this military gear. Because that's a big part of the funding, too. They don't need tanks. They don't need all the equipment that they have. They have military equipment like they're going into war. That's the wrong message to send when you're going into communities.
And then also, journalistically and personally, if you're going to defund, that's kind of bad, because if we're going to be making sure that police officers are now wearing body cameras, you got to pay for that. So, and you got to pay for the.
But I don't want to have to pay for. I don't want to pay for all the heavy artillery that they have.
Right. Exactly. So
you don't need that.
So that Democrats are working on that plan at this moment to try to de-escalate all of the tensions, demilitarize police departments and police. Today, we're going to hear from President Trump on his plan moving forward for policing. And I guarantee you, the Dems and the president's plan will not agree at all.
They will not meet.
You got Senator Tim Scott and Jerron Smith from the White House, who are the architects of this speech. Well, not of the speech, but the architects of the president's bill. So at issue, and the sad piece about this is that this president, at the beginning of his administration, he was flanked by police officers, and he said something that he can never walk away from. It's on tape. Don't be so nice when you put them in the car. He was talking about immigrants
and
MS-13.
Yeah.
So his heart in this is already showing. Does he have a heart in this? And that tape shows at the time. He said, he was just being sarcastic and funny. No. As a president of the United States, your words mean something.